Are you speaking from experience?
No. Just
okay.
I used to love to watch that show Vegas on television.
An instant classic, yes. 10-9 CBU, 8:30 to go. Nice backdoor. Miles with the finish.
Wow.
Nice pass. Oh, nearly a highlight reel finish by Coleman, but it's in and out. A 2-on-1. Grimes up top to Miles.
Fell down, kept his feet. Up ahead to Hicks. Hicks to the bucket, no good.
Gutsy move there by Bristol.
Miles strong to the basket. That one gets it back. Kicks it out to Benjamin. He takes his second shot of the game. Front rim, no good. Where did that?
We know, and so does Sam. Sam plays hard, and he plays fast, too. It's an intense game in the WAC. Nice pass off the inbounds to...
Scoring off of turnovers. They have 9 points off of Tarleton State's turnovers.
Miles defended by Williams. Jumper, good.
From the free throw line, they're 0 for their last 9 from the field. Is going to the bucket. There's Mpaka again. Get that stuff out of here. Well, Texans coming the other way. Up and under. Izzy Miles from the 30 seconds for ACU.
Tarleton has owned the paint so far. They are +8 in points in the paint, and a rare paint touch the last 5 minutes for Abilene Christian, but they do enough to pull to within 7.
At this pace, I don't know that either team will get to it as Miles takes the jumper and knocks it down from the right.
You look at that bench over there, you got Mpaka and Keaton Bristow sitting on the bench. That's a lot of offense and rebounding for the Texans.
And Mpaka has played especially well offensively as well. Had a couple of assists, a couple of big baskets. They've missed his presence.
He hit a 3.
How about Miles coming
that?
through toward home? Harrison on the rotation, a three-pointer long, and 4 Texans in the middle of Brennan, and Tarleton brings it home.
The bigs for Grand Canyon can put it on the floor and get you in rotation. That's what makes this team so dangerous.
Miles, jumper, rattles it home. Just
for the summer, and he and Mpaka are absolutely jousting off the ball down in the block. Mpaka's got to be careful. He's got 2 fouls.
And if you're going to improve in the offseason, the metric you want to use is a ton. That's the best one. Off the Harrison outside, guarded by Bristow to Ward. Again on the floor. Texans with a 2-on-1. Grant Foster up and under, and the foul and the bucket.
8-point lead against Tarleton in the first matchup, but Tarleton squeezed that thing down to 10.
Yeah, and that scares Coach Drew, especially on the road. He mentioned that in the visit last night. Mazzell looking for the call from Billy. His coach, Gillespie, on the sidelines right there beside him.
Texas had a hard time getting good looks in the half court.
We'll get one here. Miles straight away from the left wing.
Done a masterful job of somehow winning 5 conference games in 10 tries with a limited roster. They're missing their top 3 or 4 players here.
Grimes down low. Miles gets a good look, sinks it, and we have 6 seconds remaining, and down to the ground goes Williams. Texans on the run out. They're going to make this a 1-point game. Another.
Both teams right now combined. Oh, look at that steal. Nice quick hands. And Miles.
It will be interesting to see if this continues for the rest of this half. And then into the second.
Miles on the outside. Drive, stops, pops, and drains it.
And credit Dom Nelson a couple of times right there. He could have forced up a couple of shots, but instead kept moving that basketball. Leads to a wide open shot for Tanner Toolson, who's feeling it here in this first half.
32-29. First time Utah Valley's had the lead in the last 4 minutes. And that got the crowd back into this game too. And Miles silences the crowd with the beautiful.
inside. Brock Felder throws it down, and a couple dunks to start the game off for Southern Utah.
Okay, look, here's the deal, JB. We talked about being physical. I think this is a way to exact your dominance starting things off by getting those jams in the paint. And Paca's going to have to fill in and be better in his role.
Now Miles tries to answer back. There's the and one. And so a 3-point lead by the Texans. And in the ball game now, the freshman from Egypt, Kareem Al-Ghazawi, missed that runner, but the offensive rebound by Tarleton.
And some things now for Coach Gillespie. He's going to have to tinker with his lineup because of Mpaka's absence.
Miles in the high post. Drives, pops that up, and rattles home for Izzy. Boston College. He was a baseball pitcher, 6'10" at the time for San Francisco. Can you imagine that guy on the mound?
Absolutely
the
not.
The 7-footer.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But here he is now switching the basketball.
Wow.
Here's Grimes with a crossover. Miles right by Burdick and flips it in.
People in the WAC that can elevate with him.
8 now for Bristow. And here's a ball that's stolen away by Izzy Miles. The 10th steal tonight by the Texans. He hits the basket and the foul. Izzy.
Game. How did they had to battle to get this thing down to single digits.
Well, Southern Utah's made 7 of their last 8 field goal attempts. 9-point game. And they're shooting 7 for 9 here in the second half. But how about Izzy Miles, the reverse rebound by Benjamin inside.
I just took that ball away from Brock Felder.
4 rebounds for Boo Boo Benjamin to go with his 13 points. They always wait till that shot clock's under 10. Now attack. Inside, Miles attacks and scores. The top 5 all time at Utah Tech in scoring.
Why are those numbers so good? Because he's not only a shooter, he's a driver too. And he's been getting downhill lately. The first 3 years he was scared to drive to get fouled. He's been doing a lot more of that lately in it. For him to be all over his feet and be leaning toward the basket, going up for that. But they'll take it. Only 5 to shoot here.
Miles in the corner has to create. Turns, fires, and hits.
Hard to create better rebounds a game he averages. And Mpaka tonight with just his second of the game. Tarleton's outboarded them, though, by 4.
This is a 58-54 result. The last time these two teams played 2 weeks ago in Utah. We're on pace for a much lower scoring game than that tonight. But there's Izzy Miles, handles the contact.
Starting lineup with Makai Williams in the starting lineup. He had 5 assists the other night. He's got 7 tonight. So he's doing a good job at facilitating and staying active and creating plays for others.
Miles backing up. 10 to shoot. Drives. Off the glass and in. GCU looking for the clean sweep over the Texans here tonight. And it's 15 straight victories. Miles cuts in. Left shoulder. Gives him some room and kisses it off the glass. Too much in that opening half. Look at him erupt here.
Yeah.
To lead all scorers. 28 of 33 at the free throw line for GCU. 85% clip. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
Clarification.
All right.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, Tyon looked up at the ref and thought he was getting flagged for travel.
Al-Ghazawi. Quick turnaround. Miles. Good.
Last 3 minutes, they've got it by free throws. Crossover, dribble, drive, Johnson inside, trying to kick it back out. Knocked away, Texans with a 2-on-2. Miles leading it. He'll pull it back out and give it to Benjamin.
Boy, what a great play by Miles right there. He's a young sophomore. Nice job. He didn't have numbers. Retreat dribble, and then we're going to set it up against the defense.
Brantley Stevenson into the game for the first time for the Lancers. As Texans go back to that high motion defense, handing it up top. Miles. Boy, I tell you what, it wasn't pretty on the drive. Came off. He dished it.
He did, and the Texans were not back, and they were not ready to go in transition. And Billy Gillespie kind of smiling through some frustration there.
It's one of the old rules of coaching and playing basketball. Don't get rid of it until the man steps out to take you.
That's it.
Outside Crass with a handoff, as we've seen this from the Texans a number of times. 10 on the shot clock. Miles Dribbles left, working on Williams. Jumper is good with a foul. Miles from the right.
From the floor, 9 of 18, 2 for 5 from three-point land. And they only average just under 5 threes a game, and they're halfway there. Under 4 to play here in St. George, Utah.
Back in that zone again, Rod, hoping they can keep forcing bad looks. They've been doing a pretty good job defensively these past 8 minutes or so.
A lot of that was when they went to the zone, too.
Yeah.
Miles inside, good ball movement. They found the empty.
Back in that zone.
It was effective midway through that first half. Oh, but they get a wide open Miles. A lot of
both these teams are playing so hard on the defensive end.
Hakeem Byrd has it stolen away again. You cannot drive and force the issue against this Texan team. Oh! What a pass from Grimes to Izzy.
You just got to hold on to the ball.
One thing to keep note here, Tarleton State now only has 1 timeout remaining. Utah Tech has 3. Grimes. 10 on the shot clock. Grimes going inside. 5 on the shot clock. Benjamin. Underneath to Miles. What a pass by Boo Boo Benjamin. And Miles is the recipient.
That's where Mpaka made the mistake.
Texans on the steal, moving the other way. Mazzell back to Mpaka on the lob, but knocked away by UTA.
Boy, UTA showing the athleticism. That was a great play, and it would have been a great alley-oop feed on time, but great defense by UTA.
Benjamin in the corner with 15 on the shot clock. Texans have a little bit of trouble holding on to the ball, and they will turn it over on you because they average 20 turnovers per game.
They do, but they only had 10 in their last ball game, a season best. That's why they came up with their biggest win of the year against Florida A&M.
Three-pointer at the buzzer there as the bucket there quickly from UTA. That's Buford getting his first points of the game.
Well, Buford's such a good player. They really like him. Sometimes can be inconsistent, but he plays hard, and he is a downhill driver.
Underneath, Miles creating a little space, and
and knock it down to 3.
D'Antoine Grimes with the three-pointer. Another steal by the Texans. Up ahead, Miles the other way. Right-handed hammer. Opening tip. Up and under. That's Carter Eddy with the basketball. Outside. Give and go. Miles again, no flush. Howard Payne on the inbounds and over to the Texans. Crass will throw it in. Full court press by Howard Payne. And I like this strategy by Coach Dalla as changing up the defenses. We've seen full court presses. We've seen half court traps. When you're undermanned in a game like this, you got to throw the kitchen sink at them, as they say. Three-pointer from straight away need to be speeded up. But what if instead of shooting fouls during the game, is that one blocked by Mpaka? Texans moving the other way. Benjamin back to Izzy Miles, and
everybody's old. Older guys are going to be coming back and mixing with this younger roster. Have a chance to be pretty good in their league if they stay healthy.
Well, and that's on top of as the ball is poked free. 5 seconds to shoot. Underneath. Reverse layup falls for Izzy Miles.
Still waiting on Freddie Hicks, the Arkansas State transfer, to get healthy.
Beautiful feet on the floor after the turnover, and then Cowboys get tied for the basket. He attacks, but it's swatted off the glass. Now a counterattack the other way. Silvera underneath, and it's good on the left side. From the wing. No.
Steve Lutz talked about Brantley earlier today, that he thinks Brantley is going to continue to shoot the ball much, much better. Very consistent in practice. Hasn't taken a lot of them this year. They're going to try to get him more, and that's exactly.
Instead, Usman comes to get it on the perimeter. And slapped free and stolen away. And we got a tie game again.
5. They lead by 11. Terrell, good looking move there in the paint. Floater, no. Rebound, Bristow. And it's controlled by Tarleton State. Mizell inside, good looking feed there to Miles.
Into offense. Great passing lane cut right there by Chris Mpaka.
Miles all the way in. Mahovsky racing 3. This is the earliest game UCF has played this season. 1 p.m. tip-off, and it's showing in how they are performing offensively. Miles faces Taylor. Tough angle, but he's able to spin it.
Best at it in the country. When shots aren't falling, get on the offensive glass, create second chance opportunities.
UCF hoping its defense can generate some offense. Miles will pull up in the lane. That's good. Who's brought a new approach to what UCF does offensively, trying to modernize their offensive rhythm a little bit. Down under 2 minutes to go in a 15-point game. Mid-range jumper goes.
And minimize those turnovers.
Yeah, I wanted to see punish them in the paint there, because that's what they need to do. They need to be punishing in the paint.
And they started that way as the Texans get the stop defensively, moving right. The only player that started every game this season for Tarleton State, that's the sophomore guard Nick Crass. Boo Benjamin with it as the Texans in white, Crusaders in maroon. Another bucket.
Possibly can. Hey, get you to the free throw line. Slow this game down. This would, again, it benefits them.
13:44 left here in the first half. Miles to the rim, takes it to the cup.
in the potent offense that they've produced.
Well, Damari Burnett leading the way with 6 early points. He's got 40 in the last 2 games and these 4 minutes and 16 seconds plus that have been played here tonight.
He's just a really tough player. One of the few returners, transferred from Bama at one point, can pick up, can guard your best player, hits open shots, really smart player, unselfish. He's just, I would imagine, a joy to coach. It's a great back cut there by Miles. And Tarleton off the dribble. He's been great all year. He's actually struggled off the dribble shooting the 3, so that's got to be a good feeling for him, seeing that go down. And again, more versatility for Michigan.
He's got the last 5 Michigan points in his 76th straight game played. Miles for 3. We've got a barrage going right
into what he does best. And Michigan is starting to find their rhythm here late in this first half.
Apply a little pressure. They break the press. Miles all the way to the rim, and he scores.
That's it, Coach.
Edgecombe drives, lost the handle, taken the other way by Izzy Miles. Oh, Miles, nice move, and he drops it in.
One pass away of stepping in front, causing the turnover. So I would probably chalk that up, not to an unforced error, but I thought Boo Boo did a good job of getting in front.
Texans work the ball on the outside, looking down low for Boo Boo. Miles attacks the rim and lays it in. He led the team last night against Newman in that 108-51 loss with 12 points.
And this is an area of the game where head coach Josh Roach wants them to improve. They just haven't shot very well from 3. That's 5, and again, for a team that came in shooting at around 35%, you want that to increase.
There's the back door. Big catch in the lane by Miles. Elevates and scores.
To see 80, 90, 100 points on a scoreboard, but being realistic, to see this kind of defensive effort and intensity early in a season bodes really well for Leonard Hamilton.
Yeah, they have the depth that they hadn't had in years past. Quality depth, 1 through 10. They're turning people over at over 26% of their possessions so far. So over a quarter right now, and it's allowing them to really thrive. And they've won their first 2 ball games based on their defense.
Drop it off. There's the 3-ball throw
over those 2 seasons.
You know what that tells me? Toughness. Coaches look at those stats and they see that many free throws. That's a guy that's willing to get to the rack and take the hit, particularly in big-time games.
34% of his points last season coming from the free throw line. Pull-up jumper.
Going back after coaching with Coach Gillespie a couple of years ago, he leaves for a year, comes back, and I thought it just said a whole lot about the program and where it's going.
Turnaround hook. Izzy about their abilities.
Really lets them play. I like the word you use. He recruits them, makes them comfortable, lets them play. How about that drive to the bucket?
Tarleton getting after it. Dequendo comes up with a loose ball. He's been doing it all night. Traore dislodged by Benjamin. Benjamin on the run with Miles. 2-on-2. Miles lays it home.
Yeah, SMU over 64% shooting last year, making easy buckets because of his heads-up play.
As you mentioned, that was an SMU single-season record, 64% shooting. Miles, head down. Off the fade is good.
Still playing well in all phases of the game here tonight for the Mustangs.
The young man, transfer from Oregon, has 11. This is his 3rd Division I stop after a year at an outstanding junior college, Florida Southwestern. Miles leaning right. Ambrose Hilton may have blocked it into the